Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 162 of A Double and Dice. And today we're going to talk about our board game day that we had.
We are,
Yes,
because
which was
we did
a week ago.
2 weeks ago. No,
Sort of.
more than a week, but less than 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
2 Saturdays ago, but today's Monday, so
Today is Monday.
it was on March 14th.
Yeah. Yes, that's when we had our... I'm like, I thought you said today's date. I'm like, today's not
No,
14th.
I said board game day was on March 14th. It was
Yes.
3/14. It was Pi Day.
Yes.
3.14 Pi Day, which I didn't even put together when we built that day. It was Rob that recognized it. So anyway, so we got together for board game day, and we're going to talk about board game day. That's what we're doing today.
Yep. Hosted by Jocelyn.
Always
We went
hosted
up
by
to-
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn's house.
I like my house. It's a good place for board games.
Yep.
So so I was struggling with the menu on the last episode, Kim.
Yes.
Couldn't decide what I wanted to make. And then I had two things in my head that I was going to make. I was considering making French beef dip sandwiches or like a banh mi rice bowl. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go out grocery shopping on Saturday morning and I'll see what I can get at the grocery store. And it had snowed again, and it was cold. The sun was out, but it was coldish. And I was like, I don't want to make either of these things. The French dip sandwiches, I wanted to make them, but I've never made that recipe before. So I was like, what if it's bad? You know?
Bad with beef and bread.
It's just how you prepare it and whatever. Like, what if it didn't turn out tender enough or whatever? So anyway, and then I couldn't find the type of pork that I wanted. So I was in the grocery store. I'm like, you know what? It's almost St. Patrick's Day. It's snowing and cold outside. Let's make beef stew. So I made Irish beef stew. So Irish style beef stew, because typically beef stew is made with lamb. Or sorry, Irish stew is made with lamb. But I don't like lamb. So I
Really?
made Irish style beef stew. So I did that. I made an Irish soda bread from scratch. Big thanks to Rob for, I forgot buttermilk. So he brought buttermilk over just before you guys got here. So I had time to put my soda bread together. And I made the brownies as requested.
Yes.
Review, Kim.
Very good. No nuts.
Excellent. No
You
nuts,
put
no
chocolate
notes.
chips in it, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Chocolate chips, melted chocolate, and chocolate slivers. Excellent brownies. And cocoa powder. Very chocolatey.
Very chocolate.
We did apple pie that was pre-made because I didn't have time to make pie and do all the other things. But I did make salsa, as I usually do. And we had salsa and chips, and we had veggies and hummus. So we had quite a variety of foods to snack on throughout the day. So I think that worked out pretty well.
Delicious.
The beef stew was really good, if I do say so myself.
Yes, it was good.
And I do say so myself. So I had made that stew a couple weeks before. And then I was like, oh, it's not going to be cold enough for me to make this stew again because, stew to me is like a cold weather
Yeah.
food.
Dreary, dampy,
Yeah.
no sun.
Yeah.
kind of day.
And I was like, oh, no, it's going to be nice. But no, it was cold and snowy and whatever. So it worked out well.
Yeah. It snowed the night, right? It wasn't snowing the day of.
It
but-
didn't snow during the day. No, it had snowed the night before. All the snow had melted and then it snowed again and we got more snow. So
Yeah. We even got snow today. Did you get snow today? We got snow.
there were snow flakes, but nothing stuck.
Yeah, nothing really stuck, but it was chunky.
Oh, it wasn't like that here. At least it wasn't when I was looking out the window. And the sun's out now.
Well, it's supposed to be spring. It ain't spring this week.
It's not spring yet.
Nope.
So, anywho.
Yep.
But yes, so we played some board games. And
We did.
Kim, we played 4 different board games.
Yes, and 3 of the 4 Actually, I should say 2 of the 4 I've never played. And you never played any of those 4.
That's not true.
Right?
I played one of them.
Did you play that one that we will get to?
Yes.
Okay. I thought
But
you
let's
never
start
did,
at the
but
beginning.
Rob did, but
We started with sort of a good entry-level game, and it was called Take 5.
yes.
So, Kim, take it away and tell us about Take 5.
All right. Take 5, aka 6 Nimit, which is a German game, I believe. Then they changed it to the name Take 5. And by the way, now it's going to be called Beat the Heat, which Hasbro actually is doing it. So I don't know the Hasbro version, but 6 Nimit and Take 5 are pretty much the same. So what it is it's a card game, like a party game. So you can play up to like 10 people. It's crazy with 10 people, but I have played it with 10 people. So what it is you have a bunch of cards that are labeled 1 to 104.
Yep.
And on each of these cards, there's little bull, B-U-L-L, bull symbols on the top. So there could be a card that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think is the highest. 6,
no, there was one
7.
that was higher than that.
Yeah, it was 8 maybe.
It was like
more than that.
8 or 10 or something. It was really
I
bad.
think it was 10. So you shuffle this up. You do not use the whole deck. So each person actually gets 10. So you can't actually card count it, I guess. Like who would count 104 cards? But so the deck's put to the side, you get 10 cards. And then you flip over 4. So the 4 are your starting row. So what you have to do is, depending on the number that comes up in your row, you need to put the next number.
Next closest.
Yes. So let's say a 55 came up and you had a 56 in your hand. The thing is, you don't know what people are going to play. You would probably want to play 56, right? You're thinking you're good, you're safe, you're going to play 56. Everybody else will play a card, you reveal the same time, and then based on the row, the closest number, you'll go lowest to highest and then go into the thing. If you couldn't put a number and you're lower than the numbers that are out there, you pretty much taking that card and restarting a new row. So once you get to 5 cards in a row and you're the 6th person to put, like 6th card to put down in that row, unfortunately you have to take all 5 cards to your hand. And at the end of all playing your 10 cards, you count up your bull heads on your cards.
Yep.
And it's the first person to 66 loses.
Yeah, so just one clarification point is that the cards that you collect, if you have to pick up a row, don't go into your hand to be replayed. They're set aside for scoring.
Yes. So it's technically 10 plays in a round, I guess, until someone gets to 66.
Yep.
So once you're done your 10 cards, you count it up. Okay, you have your score. You reshuffle next 10 until someone gets to 60. So you keep playing until someone gets to 66.
Yeah.
I played this multiple times, so I'll hear your review on it.
Yeah, so I liked it a lot. The first round was a little bit rough, I think, as I was trying to figure out how the game worked. So at my own request, we played a second round, which the second round I won. So the first round I lost horribly. I was the first person to 66. But yeah, it was getting an idea of like what card we should put down to try and get sort of in the bidding order to go first versus second versus third. And then a lot of that depended on what was in your hand versus what was in your on the table. So yeah, sometimes you could get really close to a card and you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm golden. And then the person ahead of you, like your 55, 56 example, 55 is on the board. I've got 56 in my hand. I decide to play 56. And then you play like 8 and there's nowhere to put an 8. So you have to take that 55 and then all of a sudden I don't have anywhere to put my 56 and I have to put it somewhere else and it's going to get like ruined. So
yeah. And that's good because you don't know what anybody else is playing, right? So they could like totally like, no, don't do that. And
So yeah, it was really fun. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a great start to the board game game.
Yep. So 6 Nimit, Take 5, and the new version coming out, which I have no idea if it's out. Beat the Heat.
There you go. Weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're changing it from bulls to like flame symbols.
I think so. So I was trying to see if there was images up. They must have gone away with the bull thing. Maybe it means something bad. I have no idea. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Who knows? So
I don't know. Unless they bought the rights to like the game, but can change
Yep.
but same type of game. So, yeah.
Cool. So the next game we played was called Coffee Rush.
Yes.
And this was a neat game. So basically the goal is you've got this cute little board, and there's different little what's the word I'm looking for, Kim? The little pieces of the different types of things that would go into your coffee. That if you were making a coffee at a coffee shop, there'd be coffee beans, there'd be chocolate, and there was milk and water and all that sort of stuff.
So there was
ingredients.
Ingredients. Yes.
Ingredients. So the ingredients were resources. They were made out of cute little plastic tokens. And you had these cute little plastic cups. And the idea was that you were given orders that came through the coffee shop that were represented by a card. And on that card, it told you what ingredients you needed to make that order. And it worked in a round system. So you would go around the table. And if I filled a coffee order, if I got everything that I needed for my coffee shop order, I would say, orders up or whatever. And I would say what order it was. And then the people around me would get another coffee order, right?
Next two
people.
Yeah.
So I fill an order. The next two people adjacent to me have to get another order. And then each round, as you fill your orders or not, you have to move your orders down. So you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then your order would fall off and it would become a penalty.
Yes.
So the description on Board Game Geek for this is, a cup of coffee sure is relaxing for the customer. For the coffee shop, however, orders tend to pile up during peak hours, and it is no different today at Coffee Rush. Your goal is to complete customer orders to increase your ratings and be recognized as the best barista. In more detail, each player moves on the ingredient board to collect the ingredients they need to fulfill orders, and fulfilling orders boosts your rating. Orders that are not fulfilled in time become penalties, which subtract from your rating. If a player has fulfilled 3 orders, they may activate an upgrade that lets them acquire ingredients more easily. The game ends once all order cards have run out, or after a barista collects their 5th penalty card. The player with the highest rating wins. So essentially you have this little board that has symbols on it representing all the different ingredients. You can make 2 moves. You have to go orthogonally until you unlock diagonal movement. And there's 3 different what they call them, upgrades that you can get. So there's diagonal movement, there's double ingredients in corners, and then double ingredients if you step over someone who already is on that ingredient section.
Yeah. There's another one.
So is there another one? Is there 4?
There was 4.
Okay.
It was, you said corners, right? It was times 2 on the special ingredients. So special ingredients were like mint.
Oh, right.
Chocolate.
Yeah. Caramel, maybe?
Caramel and water?
Something.
Anyway. They only appear once on the board, as some of the other ingredients appear twice. So they're a little bit harder to get.
So when you fulfill orders, once you've fulfilled 3 orders, you get to unlock an upgrade on your board. So it was actually really fun. It was really cool. And then you can't stop on an ingredient that your opponent is already standing on. So there's also a strategic thing there, because you can see what everyone else is trying to fill. So if I needed water and I end on water, then no one else can get water until it comes back around to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was really fun. It was really cute to play. I would say it was relatively fast paced. I don't think it took us too long to get the hang of it.
No. Once we kind of jumbled through, because it was a French version that I had.
That was the other thing. Yeah, the directions were all in French.
We looked up the English, and it's like they tried to translate it. So it was a little bit like the context sounded weird. So we went with the best we could. But I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that game. It was fun to do that. And apparently it comes in a couple of different editions, including English only and Korean and Dutch. So, as well as French. So it gets a 7.1 on Board Game Geek.
Yep. And I believe they have an expansion that's Cakes that might be coming out.
The complexity rating on this game is listed as a 1.79 out of 5. I think if you're reading the correct language directions, I would agree with that.
Oh, they have a winter version. Interesting.
Oh, nice.
I guess, wintry drinks. Interesting.
What did you think of this game, Kim?
I enjoyed it. It was cute.
Mhm.
Be interesting, the cake one, if it like adds more cards and now you have to make drinks and cakes. Like I didn't look it up, so it'd be interesting.
There's
what
a
the
grab and go version, travel friendly.
travel version. Maybe it's
Yeah.
like a mini version.
Maybe. So it was cute. The art was nice. I liked the little tokens. It had a nice feel to it. And once you got the hang of it, it was really easy to play. And like I said, if we were playing with the correct English directions, it probably would have been easier.
Yeah, we looked up the English, but it still was written.
Some of it was written in a way that looks like it might have been like Google Translate.
Yeah. Or they tried to translate the French to English, right? So,
yeah. And then I think we stopped for dinner.
We did. It was
And
good
I've already-
timing, actually.
Yeah. And then I already explained what dinner was. So,
Yeah.
So we had dinner.
And then we had to decide another game that I brought because it was suggested. And Jordo would have been proud.
Yeah. Can't be a Saturday night without.
Zombicide.
No, I was going to say, what is it? Xenorth TV?
Yeah. Xenorth TV. We should totally change it to a Z. Keeping the same logo, just add some
Zombies to it.
make the compass look zombie-ish. We played Zombicide and just straight Zombicide, second edition, not any expansions or anything like that. We took a mission out of the book. Do you remember the mission?
It had something to do with the diner.
Breakfast at Jesse's.
That's it.
Yes. This was supposed to be a medium one, 45 minutes. I think we took about an hour.
Yeah, I think we did pretty well. The hardest part, honestly, was getting it set up.
Yeah, making sure we don't miss anything because each mission has what you have to do, what you have to set up, where you have to put things and all this stuff. And I thought this was like really easy. Like we did not run into any trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if we were just really awesome at it or what.
We didn't even go on the streets where it had all the zombies. We didn't even and we had to cross the road and where there was a zone, and I don't know how we did this.
We did particularly well. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we did win that campaign. Yeah, we had to rally all the companions and pretty much exit. But yeah, nobody died. We all made it through.
Yeah, so it was interesting because we had to navigate our way across the board. But we were able to get some good. I think we got lucky with our pulls with some of our powers, like our weapons, and we got luck with some of the spawn zones. For sure, we did.
Yeah, we had one abomination, but he didn't really do anything. Really, he was up.
No, he wasn't close enough.
No, he's just out in the streets wandering.
Yeah, we were able to go through all the building. So the only thing we had to go out was we had to exit near a spawn zone and then get across and into the building. But the scenario was just get to the building and lead people out. Like it said, once you get to the building where the people are and there's no zombies inside the building, then you've won.
Yeah, you just pretty much exit.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot easier than I expected it to be after reading the scenario. Like you said, it was a medium level. We did it at a fairly fast pace, and we worked together, and we used the rules that you guys use on Saturday night on the channel, where you don't necessarily act in turn order, but you act as a group and decide who should go first and who should go second.
Yep.
Based on your abilities and things like that, and it worked out really well. It was a lot of fun. We were I think we were all children.
Yeah, which we randomized because it was just the base characters I brought. Like I just brought everything base. And we shuffled it and everything, and everybody ended up being kids.
But I think that also helped because it gave us the slippery skill.
Yep. Because we could slip away. Did lose some damage, I think. But
yeah, we did take some damage. Yeah. Nobody died.
Yeah.
We didn't have to cheat at all.
No. I thought maybe we would have missed some stuff, like doors or anything, but no.
No, we were pretty on top of that. So yeah, it was fun. The only time I've played Zombicide before was with you and Matt on the stream, Kim.
Oh yes, you have. That's right.
So yeah, and that game was very long.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I was very tired, and yeah, it was very long. And then I died. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm dead now, and it's 1:00 in the morning. So bye.
I'm tapping out. It was just us three, right? Did we play 2 characters or we played 3 characters?
No, just one character.
Okay. One character.
Somebody
each,
else
right?
was there. I don't remember who it was. But yeah, so the only time I'd ever played it was that way. So I hadn't played it physically before. Rob had played it a long time ago. So yeah, so we got a good old DM North TV Zombicide in on Saturday night.
Yeah. And then we moved into a bit of a longer game.
Yeah, so this game is really interesting. It's called Rolling Heights.
Yes.
Rolling Heights. So the setup took a lot longer, I think, than we expected it to, was the first thing. And then we were reading the directions as we went along. So I think the last time we got together to play games, we talked about if you're playing a more complex game, it helps if someone has played the game before or has pre-read the rules or watched like a tutorial or something like that.
I didn't either.
And pardon?
I didn't either.
No, none of us did. We didn't know what it was. But the sort of the unique mechanic in this game is that you actually roll the meeples instead of dice.
That's correct.
So your meeples come in different colors, and depending on how they land after you roll them depends on how many resources you get. The resources are tied to their positioning. So are they standing up? Are they lying down? Are they on their side? Their color, which corresponds to certain other resources, and certain rerolls and things like that. So you build a board of like a city. So basically, you're building a city. We also missed some of the important rules about how you have to build your stuff together. We didn't realize that until like 3/4 of the way through the game.
Distance thing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a distance rule that we weren't using.
We were like a quarter in and we're like, we're just continue going.
It was closer to a half, but we're just going to continue on. So anyway, your resources look like Lego bricks. And you stack them together, and each card tells you like what type of building that you're making and then what color bricks you need. And then when you complete it, you have a little token that you put on top that represents that it's your building based on your color. And they're worth certain points. And then some of them have sort of extra bonuses. And then along the side of both boards, or along each side of the board, 2 sides of the board, you have cards that represent new buildings. Again, which like 3/4 of the way through, we realized that the cards at the end are supposed to get wild card tokens on them.
Wild resource tokens. Yeah.
Wild resource tokens on them if they aren't collected in a round, which we weren't doing. So once we started doing that, the game started moving a lot faster. So the art is cool. The mechanic of rolling meeples is kind of fun. The Lego stacking of bricks is really interesting. And I think now that we've played it once, it would go a lot smoother. I think for me, what I think happened towards like the middle end of the game is the game was lasting a lot longer, I think, than any of us expected it to.
Yeah.
And there was actually something in the book that recommended that you pre-roll your meeples for your turn.
Yeah, which we started doing.
But at that point, I felt like we were playing our own game and not working together or against one another. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It wasn't.
We were all kind of doing
game.
our own thing instead of being in a collaborative event.
Well, it wasn't co-op, was it? No.
It wasn't co-op, but it was a competitive game.
Yes.
But
Just
typically
based on points at the end.
Yeah, like in a competitive game, there's still interaction between you and your opponent, which there should have been, I think, in this game. But we were all like rolling our meeples and getting our tokens ready, and then just going, okay, here, done, over to you. So it felt like we were playing a solo game at the end.
Yeah, because you're not really interacting with everybody because they're picking their tile, putting it down, claiming it, and then trying to work towards putting their buildings on the tile. I mean, did people take some of the tiles you wanted? Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
But I also think like there was a lot of resources available, and it said we should have had all the resources available to us, all the tokens. But I feel like even with four players, I don't think we should have had that many tokens, like bricks. I feel like it should have been limited.
Yeah, because it was the game end was as soon as one color is gone.
Yeah,
and there's like 4 colors,
6.
No, not
6.
the meeples, the buildings.
But the buildings matched the meeples.
No, there's more. No, there was only
there was more
gray,
meeples than there was.
Anyway. Orange and the buildings.
Yeah,
but because some of the meeples gave you like other things other than building stuff. So.
Yeah, like one of them allowed you, if you could get a certain colored meeple, it allowed you to re-roll your meeples an additional time. And there were certain penalties if you rolled your meeples too much. There was a pushing your luck mechanic. There was a lot of cool stuff in here. But definitely I would say starting that game at, what time did we start at? Like 9 p.m.?
Something like that.
It was a little bit late.
Yeah.
So it went a little bit long, but it was fun. I liked it. I think the art was cool. I liked the mechanic of it. I think that there's definitely more strategy as you learn the game as far as like where you place your initial building to prevent your opponent from placing in areas that they want to place.
Yeah, because if you're next to something, it gave you extra points.
Yeah.
Things like that. I feel like if we did it right the first time about where you placement and paying the cost for distance, this game would have been a little different.
It absolutely would have. And also if we'd remembered about the wild tokens, if we'd known about the wild tokens on your buildings, like I still didn't understand. Like once we figured that out and I was putting wild tokens on at the end of every round when something wasn't picked, I was like, why are no one else picking these? Like this gives you extra tokens.
Unless there is something we were doing wrong.
I mean, I'm sure there was.
Yeah.
But
because you just can't pick up a tile. You have to actually pay.
You had to pay
building resources for it, right? So, I mean, if we played a second time, I think it would be a different game, knowing all the rules.
Absolutely, but I would say rolling meeples is a lot of fun.
Yeah. What they called them if they were lying down, they were lazy. What was the name?
What was the word? They were
I forget. Working hard or.
Working hard. Hang on. I'm pulling it up. This is an AEG game. So I'm pulling up the rule book.
Or not hardly working.
No, it wasn't hardly working.
But I forget what the flat one meant. Because if you pushed your luck and you rolled, what was it, all flat on your roll, then you go into
exhausted.
Exhausted, yeah.
Yeah, so working hard was standing upright.
Yeah.
Working steady was on their side, and exhausted was on lying flat.
And if you pushed your luck and you went all exhausted on your roll, your fingers went on strike. Strike, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you bust, you select half rounded down of your current working hard and working steady meeples and put them back in your box as exhausted. You get a wild token. So let me read the description of the game here. Roll your meeples, build the city. It's the 1920s and your career as a general contractor is about to take off. You've just started your business in a rapidly expanding city. In Rolling Heights, players roll workers in the form of meeples. Standing meeples work hard that day and provide special actions and building materials, while face-down meeples provide nothing. You can always push your luck for better rolls, but you might lose valuable materials you need to construct new buildings. Completing buildings gains you prestige, as well as new workers to help you construct even larger buildings, including skyscrapers. Will you construct the next famous landmark?
And you were capped at meeples at 10. So it kind of made your decision, what do I need to roll the next round? So
yeah, because we started with, I want to say, like 4 meeples, maybe?
Something like that.
And then you could gain meeples as you completed buildings. But once you hit more than 10 meeples, you had to choose which ones you were going to roll each round, which we did hit that point. And it depended on what type of resources you had because they were tied to the color. So
yeah, because clear was hard to get. Was it clear that was hard to get? And Everybody wanted blue or something like that, or gray, and clear was kind of like hard to get.
Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 meeple colors. And you started with brown and navy gray.
Oh yeah, the colors were interesting in this game.
Navy gray. I would have called it like slate gray, but whatever.
Or just gray.
So brown is carpenter, navy gray was construction worker. Then you had clear, which was your architect. You had riveter, which was blue, which is like a light blue. Politicians were yellow. Magenta were executives. Purples were public figures. City planners were black. And then the public servant was green. So yeah, the ones that did something different, the public servant let you upgrade a meeple from exhausted to working steady, or from working steady to working hard. Then you had the carpenter, the construction worker, the architect, and the riveter. If they were working steady, gained you 1 of the same color resource, or 2 if they were working hard. The politician gave you a resource, like a 1 or if they were working steady, or 2 if they were working hard. It was like points for the game end. And then the magenta was giving you spending power. So basically, it's basically like coins. You're not supposed to use the orange tokens for it, but we did anyway, just because it was easy. So a working steady gave you 2 coins, and a working hard gave you 4 coins. And that allowed you to pick any color cube for those. The purple one depended on your completed buildings. So if you had a purple meeple, it meant you completed a building that gave you that meeple, and then it would give you certain abilities based on how you rolled your meeples. And then blacks allowed you to take your exhausted ones and re-roll them an extra time without it making your meeples go on strike. And you can't bust on that roll. And then working hard lets you take a building plan for no cost, and then put the tile on any space, ignoring the distance cost.
Which we didn't.
Which we didn't play distance cost. So
which probably would have made it harder, because you had to figure out, am I putting this on a building, or do I want to go far and like use that to pay? Because your building materials is also your cost. So it's like, what do you want to do?
And your building materials don't carry over. So whatever you don't use by the end of your round, your current round, you have to put back into the supply.
Yep. And then we got little boxes that were our dice trays. These are also storage boxes. This is cute. It's a cute touch. And then we had personal objectives too that I didn't understand any of mine, which I didn't make.
So there was a lot of phases to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Once you got going, we got it. But definitely, I think playing it a second time will make it a little different. Now knowing what to do, kind of thing.
Yeah. So it was fun. I liked it. Rolling meeples is interesting. I never would have considered that we would roll a meeple instead of a die. So that was really neat. I kind of liked that mechanic. That was my take on it. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. This was a Kickstarter that I kickstarted.
Cool.
And I think that really only got me was rolling the meeples on it. I didn't even realize I bought a game that had to build a city properly. I'm like, oh, rolling meeples, that sounds great. What a different mechanic, right? So, no, I enjoyed it. I did okay. But yeah, I probably could have done better. Or once I understood everything, maybe a little bit different thinking. I'm just curious of how the distance cost would have come in.
Yeah, I think the whole thing would have been better if we had pre-read the rule book, or watched a tutorial. So,
like a quick 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was a good game, but there was definitely a lot of steps that we missed, which made it possibly run longer for sure. And there was, things that could have been a little bit different, but it was cool. It was a neat mechanic. I liked the novelty of it, and I liked the little Lego like bricks and the colors and the way the art was created on the board. And the board is very dynamic. You can choose like different boards and kind of put them together any way you like, so that the game is always going to be different.
Yep. Yeah, because it was double-sided.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did recommend it, right?
We did recommend it for the goals.
Oh, okay.
Because there was group goals and then there was personal goals. But for the setup of the city, I think we did the randomizing thing.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, it was neat. I would recommend all of these games.
Yeah. Favorite one out of all?
Coffee Rush.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I won't say Zombicide. I actually would go with Rolling Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it. I think I would like it better if we played it again and we had the opportunity to do it.
I think the second time would probably make the gaming experience different.
Yeah, but I liked Coffee Rush because it had a level of complexity. It felt a little bit chaotic, but it made sense. It was a quick learn game. It didn't have too many rules.
Yeah.
Take 5 was perfect for the beginning of a game day. Like, that was really cool. I would play that again for sure. I'd play all of them again, but if I had to pick one, it would be Coffee Rush for me.
Yeah. At first, you thought in Coffee Rush you were doing so great managing everything, and then all of a sudden, when you had to pick up cards because somebody finished an order, all of a sudden you have so much orders, and it's like, oh my goodness,
exactly.
Like, it picked up weird that way.
Yeah, it picked up fast.
I enjoyed all of them.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I would say I still do like Take 5 over Flip 7.
Okay.
But I do enjoy Take 5. And of course, I do enjoy Zombicide. So.
Yeah.
What was the other game I brought we didn't play?
You brought Finspan.
That's right. The Wingspan, Wormspan, Finspan that we did not.
Yeah, we were debating, do we want to play Rolling Heights or Finspan?
Yep.
And we decided on Rolling Heights because it was different than anything else that we tried. Because Finspan is based on Wingspan, which I think we've all played Wingspan.
Yep.
So. Yep.
And that was our board game day.
It was. So it was good. It was good to hang out. It was good to have you over. And it worked out perfectly in between the snow.
Yeah.
Because after you left, it started to snow again.
Yeah, it was supposed to snow that night or something.
Yeah,
but we didn't hit any snow on our way home. So
no, it was later in the night. So
yeah. Yep.
So now we have to get another board game day on the books.
Yeah.
In the summer, maybe, when we can be back outside.
Yep. Just hopefully it's not a windy day.
Well, we have the inside space now, though, outside as well. We have the outside-inside space.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all
and you can
furnished
actually barbecue.
Now. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Back to the burgers, or maybe chicken skewers or something. So, all right. Anything else on board game day, Kim?
No. I think we covered everything.
I think so too. So let's jump into the dice bag from our last episode, which was actually quite comprehensive. So it looks like we heard from Darren on YouTube. And Darren said, another great episode and the shocking reveal of never having eaten a McDonald's burger. Yep, that's me. He says that's got to be up there with never having seen Star Wars. I hadn't seen Star Wars for a very long time in my life, so that probably goes right there together. I've seen it now, so it's all good. Recently, gaming, he played Heat Pedal to the Metal, liked it so much he bought the game and the 3 expansions for it. Mm-hmm. Darren also played Viticulture. The new Bordeaux board has been a great excuse to get it back on the table, with a couple of the modules from the Tuscany expansion, which he's had for years, and he regrets not playing the game with those 2 modules before. Really enjoyed it and will always include them from now on. Is there a game where that's happened to you, where you haven't played with the expansions and you're like, well, that was a miss. I need to do that.
I don't own much board games that have expansions. I'm I'm interesting with expansions. I
What
don't know
does
what
that
to
mean?
put the word. Like, do I need the expansion?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does the expansion involve that would either make the game different, or is it just adding something to it?
Right.
Right? So, I mean, if it makes it, if you only like, if you play a game a lot of times, so okay, let's take Zombicide example, right? Look how many
Yep.
stuff they have, expansions that were actually campaign really, but um, that's okay. Like I find that works for a type of game like that. But if we take like Heat for example, which I think I do have one expansion to Heat. It's what the value is being added to it. Now, I don't play these games enough that do I warrant an expansion. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, or if I play the game so much, like say Zombicide, and they add expansion, it gives it a different type of play. So I'm like in between with expansions. I don't own much of them for a lot of games. I used to be probably one of those where I was like, do I need an expansion? Do I really need it? Kind of thing. But I'm only playing this game once, twice, not that much. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. The only game that I have that really has expansions is spoiler alert,
Wingspan.
So I once they came out with the version that had Nectar, which I think was Oceania, I will not play Wingspan without Nectar anymore. It really makes the game better.
Okay.
So
I can understand that.
It's because once they unlocked the Nectar mechanic and how Nectar works, it speeds up the game. Not that it needs to be faster, but it speeds up the game in a way that makes it more dynamic. And interestingly, they just came out with a new one, the Americas expansion, which came out with the hummingbird mechanic, which I haven't played yet, so I can't speak to that one. But it came out with a rule that said if you are using Nectar and you're not using the Oceania expansion, you don't have to get rid of your Nectar at the end of your round. And I think that's dumb. I think getting rid of your Nectar at the end of the round is an important mechanic. And I always play it that way. I've always played it that way. If you're playing with Nectar at the end of your round, if you have Nectar left over, it gets put back in the supply. I think if you kept it, I think that would really make the game different. So anyway, but I would not play every time Rob and I play Wingspan now, I always use the Nectar.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it changes the mechanic of the game. It changes the speed of the game. It makes it more interesting. It makes it more strategic when you're picking your food items out of the dice tray, out of the birdhouse. So, do I take Nectar just to block you, even if I can't use it? It's really interesting. So,
yeah, I mean, like,
have you played with Nectar?
I don't own any expansions for Wingspan.
So the answer is no, you have not played with Nectar.
No. But I mean, there's so many different types of expansions I see it too. Like, okay, Marvel United. The only way you get expansions is because you're getting a new character. But then the question is like, do I need all these characters?
Right.
So I guess it depends on the expansion. But no, I don't have any expansions for for Wingspan. I just have Wingspan.
Yeah. Well, I love Wingspan, so I can't wait to play with the Americas expansion. I didn't even put it in the basement. It's still in my living room.
And I think that's okay. I mean, if you really love a game, like let's say Zombicide for me, I have like so much, right? Jordan probably has everything. But if you really love a game and you're often going to be playing it and something comes out for it that's either going to make it better or just add something or whatnot, then go for it. Wingspan's not a game that's going to add characters. You know what I mean?
No.
It's going to add gameplay or it's going to increase players or something, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't always have to play with the duos board if Rob and I are playing 2-player. The duos board adds a mechanic to Wingspan that is interesting and I like it, but I don't need it every single time. But Nectar makes a big difference. But I like the fact that I have access to the duos board, and I probably will like the fact that I have access to hummingbirds once I give that a try.
I'm actually really curious. I'm looking up if I actually do have expansions I have in my collection. It's saying no number. Why is there no number here? But some of these are promo cards.
Different.
Promo things, which are different.
Yeah.
So yeah, not
an expansion person.
No, I'm just looking through. Unless I I think there's one game that I have, Welcome to. I don't know if you've never heard of it. That I picked up in a trade, and it came with all their expansions. So that's how I inherited those expansions.
There you go.
But me buying personally off, no, unless I kickstart something and it comes with it comes with everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, not really actually. So yeah,
cool. Then we went to the Discord, where we had our Double and Dice podcast convo chat, and we heard from Jackalope Spam, who says Labyrinth is a pretty good game for kids. They have the Spidey and Friends version, and he thinks its age is marked 4+. It's a kid's version, but basically the same, just smaller. His kiddo, who's 5, can play it all right. And by the way, since when is Link 5? Link was just born. Yesterday. But apparently that was 5 years ago. So
time flies.
Yeah. Collector Rob jumped in and talking about the topic of sports games translating to tabletop games. Collector Rob thinks American football translates to tabletop games so much better than football, because of how the games play. American football is very stop-start, which allows for phases of play and easily set rules in a board game, whereas soccer, is a fluid, high-tempo game with hopefully not too many breaks in the play. I don't know what soccer he's watching, but okay. He also says, I need to make it known that Liverpool couldn't even beat Tottenham, his team, even though they'd lost their previous 5 games.
You should watch a Euro game.
And then Jackalope Span responded, as you notice, I'm not responding to that. I think the continuous play is how hockey and soccer can be justified very similar. Sure, you're trying to get something into a net with restrictions on how you can touch it, but it's constant. To an extent, you could lump basketball in there too, get ball to net. Now you can use hands, but nothing else, and play keeps moving. Scores are higher, but there's less disruption after a score too. So this is Jackalope Span Nick saying that I'm right, that hockey and soccer are the same. FYI. Thanks,
just going
Nick.
Back and forth.
Thanks, Nick.
Back and forth.
So anyway, so that was the feedback from last episode.
Yeah, actually, there's one more thing I forgot.
You forgot a thing.
You received the board game on Board Game Day.
I did. I did get a board game.
Have you played it?
No, I have not played it. We have not had time. So Kim brought Rob and I our Christmas present.
Which was supposed to happen in December.
Before Christmas, yeah. I was supposed to pick it up. I was in Mississauga, which is near where Kim lives. And I was supposed to meet her to pick up something, which I assumed was the Christmas present. And my meeting ran super, super long, and she had a commitment, and I couldn't meet her. So anyway, so she brought the game. She brought us Hive, which is a 2-player game.
Yes.
But we have not had a chance to play it yet because we opened it. We opened the package when you brought it over. And then we had work all week, and then we went to Breakout Con, which is going to be the subject of, I think, our next 2 episodes, Kim.
Yeah, we're splitting that into 2.
It's a lot of content to talk about. So there's going to be so many things that we're going to talk about that you've never even heard us talk about before. It's pretty impressive. Just saying, yeah. So once we get that to the table, we'll give that a try. So that is just Board Game Day.
Mm-hmm.
And so many more things to talk about. And it's going to take us 2 episodes to do it. So I actually have preemptively made notes.
You and your note taking.
So that I don't forget what we talked about. Well, I forgot the one game. I forgot Coffee Rush. I knew we played 4 games, but I'd only written 3 games on the sheet because I could not remember what the 4th one was. So.
I thought you would remember that one over Rolling Heights.
Well, Rolling Heights I remember because we were rolling meeples. But also, I was making this list last night when I was exhausted after being at Breakout Con all weekend. So
Yep.
I was like, I better write down the breakout con stuff so I don't forget. So anyway, but yeah, so I think that's it. Anything else, Kim?
No, we're good.
Awesome. Well, as always, thanks for listening to a Double Double and Dice podcast today. And we'd love to hear if you've played any of these games and what your thoughts are on them. Or do you have any games that you would not play without the expansions now, like Darren? So you can leave us a comment on our episode post at dm-north.com. You can head over to youtube.com/dmnorthtv and leave a comment on our episode post there, like Darren did. You can join our Discord, DM North TV, and you can leave a comment in our Double Double and Dice podcast convo chat, just like Jackalope's Band and Collector Rob did. You can add us on Discord. Kim is at SuperK. I am at Jostitch, Joce Stitch. You can send us an old-fashioned email at triple-d-podcast@dm-north.com. And you can find Kim and Matt playing board games, mostly Zombicide, on most Saturdays, not all of them, but most of them, over at twitch.tv/DMNorthTV. And we're on all the socials at DMNorthTV. So until next time, on a Double Double and Dice.